Hi there, welcome back. This is my second video on my new channel, Dr. Lila, that's my name. And this channel is about college teaching. If you didn't check out the first video on this channel, that kind of gives an introduction to who I am and what we're going to be talking about here, so you might want to go and check that out first. But if you've already seen that, we can just jump into today's video. I want to talk a little bit about the first week of the semester. I just finished teaching my second day, so I teach a class that meets 2 days a week for 75 minutes, and I just finished my first week, so I had the second session tonight, and I just want to reflect a little bit on how it went. I think first weeks for me, especially first days, they kind of go by in a blur, and I always forget to say something that I mean to say going in, so I think it might just be helpful. When I was first starting out, I say first starting out, I'm still fairly new, but I'd say probably my first maybe 3 semesters teaching, I used to just go through the syllabus with them and dismiss them on the first day. I still got everyone to say their name, but other than that, I would kind of just go through the syllabus and let everyone go home, and I just thought I should use that a little bit more valuably. So last semester, I did the same thing of going through the syllabus, and then I asked everybody to say their name and say why they were taking the class. And so, I thought, oh, this is going to give me a little bit more insight on who's in the room. They all said their names, and then they all said, I'm taking this class because it's a requirement to graduate. They all said that. So I know it's a requirement to graduate, so that didn't actually give me that much insight, although a bunch of them did say in that introduction, I'm supposed to graduate at the end of this semester, so I'm very motivated to pass the class. I need this to graduate in 3 months. So that was helpful, but I did want to know more about why they selected that class. So this semester I decided to try to get a little more information and also to do some other things. And there's a great website. The name of the website is Pedagogy Unbound. I'm not sure of the address off the top of my head, but if I can work out how to put things in the description box, I will put it in the description box below. And I'm really hoping at some point to get the author of that website on the channel for an interview. So we'll see if I'm able to make that happen. But it's a great website where people can pool kind of things that have worked for them in the classroom, and you can actually, if you're looking for an answer to a problem, you can sort by the problem that you're having and see how other people have handled it, which is such a great resource. So I was looking at some first day ideas on there, and I saw a couple that I really liked, and I'll get to those in a second. So on the very first day of class, which was the day before yesterday, I had everyone come in, we went through the syllabus, and I have a TA. I guess our department administrator told me that most of the adjuncts don't know that they can have TAs, but I had a student approach me, a student who I had in my criminology class, I guess it was this time last year, approached me and said that he is a federal work study student and that he wanted to do his work study being my TA. And so I talked to the school, and it was fine for him to do that, but I don't think other adjuncts know that they can have a TA. So I have this TA, and he's wonderful. I should start out by saying that. He handles attendance for me. He handles the collection and alphabetization of assignments. And I also give him some higher level things to do, which maybe I can talk about, the best ways to use a TA in a separate video. But he did not realize that the syllabus was double-sided. So it was a 5-page syllabus, but 3 pages front and back, and everybody only got pages 1, 3, and 5. So that was a little awkward, but it was okay, because most of, one of those pages was college-wide policies that have to be on every syllabus, so they'd seen those already, and I was able to just go home and email the syllabus out to everybody, but it was a little bit of a rocky start, but it's okay. So I gave out the syllabus, we started to go through it, and I'm honestly not sure what compelled me to do this, but I stopped and I just said, real quick show of hands, who read the course description for this class and understands what we're going to be doing this semester? And not a single one of them raised their hands. Nobody raised their hands. No one said they understood the course description. So then I was really curious to know why they chose it. So I said, we're going to go around, you're going to say your name and tell me why you chose this class as opposed to the other classes that meet the same graduation requirement, because they've got like, depending on their major, they've got between 2 and 4 classes that will meet this requirement, and they chose this one, and I wanted to know why. And I said, you can tell me even if it's just that the schedule was good or whatever. I really just want to know the honest reason. And so I think I mentioned I teach qualitative research methods. I'm going to say 70% of them said they chose it because it sounded like it had less math than the other option, like a quantitative class that had stats in it. So they didn't understand the course description for my class, but they understood the other one enough to know they didn't want to take it. So I thought that was like super enlightening, just to get a sense of why people are there, because I don't know. I mean, I know that they don't have a ton of frame of reference of like what qualitative research is, but I guess for some reason I just had this in my mind that they really understood a little bit better, what they were walking into, and they didn't. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and so I didn't read a lot of times I'll just kind of read the course description out to them or like hit the main points, but I didn't do that. I decided to just take a step back and think about how I wanted to introduce them to the topic. But what I did do, and this came from Pedagogy Unbound, is I asked them to take out a sheet of paper and write down 2 goals for the course and 2 questions that they had right now today about qualitative research methods, even if the question was, what is qualitative research, right? So I collected those, and I guess you do have to tell them you're not going to read them out loud, because I think that was holding a couple of people back. And I will say I did get some confused looks, so I probably could have, just sometimes it feels like you're over-explaining things, but I guess I maybe could have over-explained that a little bit more, like you're going to write down 2 goals and 2 questions. I'm not going to read them out loud, and, I just kind of explaining a little bit more why I wanted to do it. But the reason that I want to do it is because this thing I was reading on Pedagogy Unbound was saying that you can, as far as the questions go, that it's a good frame of reference for you to know what you're starting with, but also that you can, at the end of the year, you can take all the questions, remove their names, type them up on a sheet, and give them out, and have groups of students try to answer them just to see how far they've come and how much they've learned. So I'm definitely going to do that. And then as far as the goals are concerned, I think that's a really helpful question to ask. You can always, have them revisit that at the end of the semester too, to see if they did that. And I had them put 2 goals because I thought if I said 1, everyone was just going to say get a good grade in the class. So a lot of them did say get an A in the class. I thought it was so interesting. A lot of them said I want to get at least a B in the class. I mean, I just kind of wonder, when your goal is not, it made me wonder if those students don't believe they're capable of getting an A, I guess is what that made me think about. And so being aware, and then the other thing is, like, a handful of them said, I want to use this class to decide if I want to go to graduate school. So that's a really helpful thing for me to know, because I can reach out to those students, with information about resources or whatever to help them make that decision. So it was a good start, and then I am going to do another video on assessment, but just to say, the way that I assess reading right now is with quizzes, for which students have the questions in advance. So I give them a reading assignment, and I give them 3 questions, and I say 2 of these 3 questions are going to be on the quiz when you come to class. So there's really no, I will speak more at length about why I do it like that, but there's really no reason that they should be panicking, because I also tell them if you are having trouble, you can email me and I'll help you through it. Nobody takes me up on that, but today, after class was over, my TA, who was there before I was, said that everybody was like, freaking out because I was giving them a quiz on the second day of class, and like so extra, so much. So I don't know. They had the questions in advance. How bad could it really be? I'm not sure what to say about that. I guess in a sense, I'm glad they're bonding with each other, even if it's over how ridiculous I am for giving them a quiz on day 2. So that's okay. We had a good class. I think we had a good discussion. I'm starting to learn a lot of their names. I think I probably have 10 of their names. So I have 36. I know that, a lot of adjuncts teach like big survey classes, and you can't, I mean, if you have 100 students, you can't learn them all. You just can't. But I only have 36, which is nice. So, and I had 2 students tonight who were not there the first night. So that was tough because I was giving a quiz on a reading that they didn't get because they weren't in class last time. But I can catch them up. That's not a big deal. So I just wanted to reflect a little in the sense that part of this channel is helping me remember kind of how this semester went, because it does start to go by in a blur at a certain point, and just remembering kind of how I used the first day and why. So I would love to hear in the comments below if you're a college teacher, even if you teach, high school or other levels, how you use the first day, how you make the most of it. I have heard from someone who close in my life who's a teacher of elementary school kids that you can't smile until Thanksgiving, and you have to be really kind of stern and like not let people think that they can get away with anything. Obviously, I don't have them that much longer than Thanksgiving because it's the fall semester, so that I'm not using that rule. But I would be curious to hear if other people think you have to be like really stern out of the gate, or if you just are yourself with students right away. And also, I would really love to know if people who found themselves being nervous when they first started teaching, especially on the first day, if that goes away over time or if that's always there. Because, I think I'm much less nervous in general, and I have a much easier time just giving myself a list of topics that I'm going to talk about instead of a really, really detailed lesson plan. But I still get the nerves on the first day were still kind of ramped up for me, so I would love to hear if that's a common experience. And anything else, memories of good first days, bad first days that you want to share would be great. I have some other video ideas coming up, but if there's anything in particular that you want to discuss in the comments, just let me know, and we can get a good discussion going. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.